Alright, let's just get down to brass tacks here. Sports games these days, they suck. Just so boring. I mean, merely gazing upon this footage for only a few seconds is already putting me to sleep. They used to be good. Classics like NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, etc. were amazing. I dumped a stupid amount of hours into those games. Nowadays, you can't get a AAA sports game that isn't a straight simulator. It doesn't happen anymore. Everything has to be as realistic as possible. Myself, I don't want it. I miss the old arcadey days. I'm long over the simulation crap, and even if you do like it, aren't you sick of getting just that? I mean, EA, they basically admitted they're not even trying anymore. You know, they used to do those, like, over-the-top presentations during their E3, trying to sell us on why this year's sports ball game is completely different than the last year's. They don't do it anymore. This E3, they just paraded out a couple people on stage to be like, this year's FIFA will be the best FIFA ever made. We swear. Wow, you sold me. But all hope isn't lost. Enter Mario Tennis Aces. Mario and his friends are back on the court in what I'd say is the best of the Mario Tennis games, probably the best tennis game, period, ever made. All that crazy fun you've come to expect from the Mario Sports series, special shots, complete with over-the-top animations, trick shots that will allow you to make insane saves, and a pretty in-depth system with your standard assortment of hits. You can get pretty into this, learning how to keep your opponent on their toes, bringing them like towards the net with drop shots, and then sending them all the way to the back with lobs, for instance. It's extremely satisfying knowing that you've got your opponent in panic mode, running them ragged across the court back and forth before you just end them. Not as much fun when someone does it to you, though. And with all this wackiness comes also the Racket Breaks. Let's talk about real quickly one of the more controversial aspects of this game. When your opponent unleashes some of their most powerful shots on you, you actually have to time your block at the right moment, or else your racket will take damage, perhaps even break. If your racket breaks, you'll lose the round, and you have a limited amount of rackets. If they all break, you will lose the whole match. So yes, you can get KO'd in this tennis game. They actually say KO comes up on the screen. I told you, Mario isn't screwing around. I like this mechanic. Again, it's one of those things, it sucks when it happens to you, but it feels great when you're just ruining someone else's day. And I think it adds another layer of strategy and skill you have to acquire. Getting that timing down is key. But here's the thing, you don't have to put up with it if you don't want to. If you don't want the stress of racket breaks as well as the crazier shots in your life, there's a simple mode which makes the game more like a tennis sim if that's what you're looking for. You still have your curve shots, drop shots, lobs, the like, but the obnoxious stuff is pulled out. This mode has its own online section, so you can even get hardcore into that all on its own if you want. And beyond that, this game has a pretty good story mode. Luigi gets his hands on, let's just call it the Infinity Racket, and Mario has to go around collecting these power stones to save him. You may think, well, how good can a story mode in a tennis game actually get? Pretty sick, actually. Plenty of cool challenges that will actually help you improve your skills with the core game, making you master different types of shots and counters. I really loved all the mirror and reflection stuff in the Ghost House. There's even boss fights that will have you utilizing all the tools at your disposal. It's good fun. The campaign, I'd say, probably has about 10 hours or so of content in it. So while not a huge undertaking, it certainly adds a good amount of value to the game. There's really only two, and they're minor, complaints I had about this title. And at least to my knowledge, there's no way around them. With the campaign, there's no, quick restart. With it essentially consisting of these mini challenges, you may find yourself repeating some, maybe a lot. And at times, perhaps knowing fairly early on that this run isn't going your way, and you just want to restart. You either have to fail or quit out, bringing you all the way back to the overworld, and you have to listen to Toad or someone else spout off about the challenge again, which you can choose to skip through the dialogue, but this really needs to offer you just the ability to restart to the beginning of the challenge without backing all the way out. The other is more irritating. Again, to my knowledge, there's no way to fix it. There are two ways to do the trick shots. One is to simply flick the right stick, and the other is by double tapping X in a direction. And X is also the button you use for lobs and drop shots. I find the stick to be the more optimal way to do them, and the X double tap is only a nuisance to me, as sometimes I'll be moving towards the ball, wanting to lob or do a drop shot with X, but if I accidentally double tap, I'll perform the trick shot instead, often totally screwing me over. And as of now, you can only disable the right stick for trick shots, not the double tapping of X. I have no idea why, it doesn't make sense to me. I really hope a patch comes with the option to turn those double tapping X quick shots off completely. Like I said, it's just super annoying to me, and I've been looking it up. I've been seeing other people online saying they have the exact same issue. Beyond those minor gripes, this game is a ton of fun, and the mechanics really promote that sense of easy to play but difficult to master. You can just go out, hit the ball back and forth, do some crazy moves, and have a good time. But you can also get lost in learning exactly which shots to use at which times, how to keep your meter built, when to spend it. I'd suggest spending it often. If you're not going to get into playing the multiplayer either with friends or online, I don't know if I'd recommend this game though. It does have the story mode, but it's more so a nice aside. I definitely wouldn't get this if you're just looking for a single player experience, but I also feel that's kind of standard with sports games, right? Typically people buy them to play against others. Which, let's talk about that. Other sports games. This is hardly Mario's first foray into sports. He's done it all at this point, and I hope this can be the start of a comeback. Like I said myself, I can't do The Sims, but I love this arcadey action. Bring them all back. Mario Golf, Sluggers, for the love of God, please give me a new Strikers game. I need that one bad. Coming off the disappointment that was Ultra Smash on the Wii U, the Big N clearly has gotten back a hold of what makes these games fun, and I think we need more, lots more. So hopefully, this is just the beginning. And with that, this video is a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on Mario Tennis Aces in the comments. Are you currently playing the game? Would you like to see more Mario sports titles in the future? As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.